Welcome to The Ethical Stitch, where fashion meets integrity and style gets a conscience. I'm your host, Michelle Alleyne, fashion strategist, educator, and sustainability geek. Let's unravel what it really means to create, shop, and live ethically. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Ethical Stitch. I'm your host, Michelle Alleyne. And as you know, this isn't just a fashion podcast. It's a front row seat to the real story the industry doesn't want you to hear. We're talking about the truth behind the closet, the hands that stitched your favorite piece, the journey it took to get to you, and the cost, human and environmental both, that's hidden from the tag. So if you're new here, know this: we don't skim the surface. We unravel the threads until we find the heart of the story. If you've been stitched, you already know this is where fashion meets courage, culture, and change. Where the conversation is bold, and it's as bold as the people driving it. Today's episode, I'm so excited. It's a journey from the chaos of one of the world's largest clothing markets to hope and innovation of a movement rewriting fashion's afterlife. So settle in. This is the kind of conversation that lingers in your mind like a collection you can't stop thinking about. Before we step into the conversation, though, let's step into the green room. This is our sanctuary in the fashion world. The place where the pace slows, the noise fades, and the spotlight softens. Where we trade the flash of the runway for the intimacy of the fitting room. The quiet moment before the show when it's just you, the work, and the truth. Because sustainability isn't a line on a press release, it's a point of view. It's knowing the value of what you hold in your hands and refusing to treat it as disposable. It's design with intention, craft with conscience, beauty without sacrifice. So to give you a perspective on what we're talking about today, here's the reality. Ghana is one of the largest sites for disposal of post-consumer waste, particularly textile waste that ends up in informal dump sites, drains, and even waterways, including lagoons in the sea, with thousands of tons of used clothing every single week, which is about 2.2 million pounds of garments. Much of it, again, is post-production waste from the global north. And here's the part that's really hard to hear. Around 40% of that becomes waste immediately. That's humongous. It's too much. There's so much piling up in the landfills and clogging the drains and washing into the ocean. And that's fashion's afterlife. And it's not evenly paid for. Communities here in Ghana are bearing the cost for clothing waste they did not even create. I just had to get that out because today's guest, he's not watching the industry shift from the sidelines. He's in the thick of it, waist deep in the heartbeat of Katamanto, surrounded by that tidal wave of global textile waste. And somehow, in the middle of that chaos, he's creating something extraordinary, a vision where waste becomes resource, where culture and creativity flourish, and where hope is stitched into every scene. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Yayra Agbofah. He is a creative activist and the visionary founder of The Revival, a Ghana-based movement transforming the way we think about textile waste. In the vibrant but overwhelmed ecosystem of the Kantamanto market, he works side by side with youth, artisans, and traders to reimagine the afterlife of fashion. Through upcycling, education, and community-led innovation, Yayra is flipping the script from waste to resource, from burden to opportunity. His work has been recognized on a global stage, winning the prestigious H&M Foundation Global Change Award and gracing exhibitions at the VAA Museum. But what makes his work unforgettable is that it's rooted not in theory, but in lived experience and daily action. The proof that most powerful revolutions are sown into one stitch at a time. Very lengthy, but very well deserved introduction. Yayra, thank you so much for being here on The Ethical Stitch. I'm so excited to have you. Your story is tremendous for us here. So, welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a very graceful introduction. Wow, that's wow, that's amazing, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Michelle. I mean, we had a good conversation when we met in person in Copenhagen, and I think it's very important for such spaces like this to be able to give people like us the opportunity to speak, to share the reality, and to also let people know based on lived experience and not just by words. So happy to be here.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, well, let's start from the beginning. Tell us in your own words, what is the revival?
Well, the revival, on a word as a word on its own, is just bringing something back to life. But in this context of the revival, it's an organization based here in Ghana that is focused on tackling global textile waste crisis through upcycling, through education, and community-driven solutions. So this is not a one-man show or one-woman show. It's community-driven and community-led. And our mission is to transform discarded clothing into resources that, rather than it being a pollution factor, polluting element, but rather for it to be valuable resources while we're fostering sustainable livelihoods in the local economy, particularly within the countermountain market.
Love it. So you grew up in and around Katamanto, Ghana, reworking clothes. How did that early connection to the market and to fashion shape the creative activist you are today?
Well, I mean, it had to happen literally. Like it's destiny, it's fate. Because I've been working in the market for more than 2 decades now, and just realizing and seeing the influx of secondhand
Mm,
clothing into Ghana. Much
mhm,
of it in poor condition and
mhm,
creating a significant weight burden. Most of the women, young people that work here, everybody is making the same complaint, which is the waste is becoming a burden. So
wow.
I felt a deep sense of responsibility to address it,
Mhm, mhm,
not just for the environmental impact of it, but also for the livelihood of those in the market, many of whom were working in unsafe and unsustainable conditions.
mhm.
Mainly in the environment, but also the business model just is uncertain because whatever that comes into the country, whether waste or not waste, we pay for them. Nothing comes
Yeah,
for free.
right.
So we literally are paying for somebody else's waste and
Yes.
at the detriment of our environment and livelihoods as well. Yeah, that sparked my my inner self to actually do something about it and address and take responsibility. As a member of the community,
Yes.
that's what we're supposed to do, is to take responsibility.
Wonderful. I mean, I get chills. I mean, I'm so proud of the work that you do, and you're really just, taking action and just making things happen and trying to even implement it in a way that it creates business and opportunities. I mean, kudos to you. Thank you so much for doing this work. We need more of you. How do we clone you all over?
Well, I mean, we need to listen and learn from each other. I think that. there should be better versions of me,
Hmm.
and I could say is to inspire people to be who they are, but then to be good citizens and take responsibility of their surroundings and people around them.
Yes, I love that. The revival blends upcycling, education, storytelling, and collaboration. How do you see these elements weave together to shift the mindset from waste to value?
I mean, the situation of waste is not a one-way solution because the problem, how the waste is being generated, is not just a one-way strategy.
Hmm.
It's various marketing strategies, various things that comes together to influence us to keep buying and buying and making so much waste. So my approach was literally to holistically bring all the aspects in the fashion or that influence the problem together.
Hmm.
So, example, or holistically bringing together upcycling, which is literally taking the waste, preventing the waste from leaving and going to pollute the environment, and bringing the clothes back to life through design. And then at the
Hmm.
same time, education, which is very important because the education is at the core of the industry. That is
Right,
where our fashion designers have been through a series of education and everything. So then the system of education is what influences design and what comes. Our next collection, our next everything is influenced by the system of education. So then having
right,
to tackle education, which is at the core, to be able to unlearn all these things that are causing the problem and
right.
read and redefine and understand what actually the fashion industry should look like, what
Hmm.
design thinking should be when you're creating a collection, how should your marketing strategy be positioned. So storytelling is where you also think about how you can tell the right narrative, the right
Hmm.
story that favors or values people and planet, not only about profit, because the storytelling and the marketing system right now in the fashion industry is mainly money, money, money. Let's keep selling. Let's sell.
Right, right.
Let's
Regardless of what we do to the
exactly,
planet.
exactly. So then these are things that we're trying to redefine and learn and to be able to have a better way of doing it that was going to veer towards favoring the planet and people over every other thing. And collaboration is also a key aspect of things where we collaborate to create a sustainable circular system. Because without having to create a system, we won't be able to have a sustainable solution. So then we encapsulate, we bring all these things together in their own fields to be able to lead towards the goal of an all-inclusive circular system
Hmm.
where textile waste becomes a thing of the past
Exactly.
that we're not having anymore, but rather we're looking at innovation, looking at
Right.
the next product that is circular. So more leaning towards innovation,
Yeah.
circular system, that's sustainable. Yeah.
Love that. Yes, my dream is to just not even create new resources, not grow. I don't know. I mean, that's certainly going to shift the economics of the entire thing, but if we're going to create something, we need to reuse and repurpose and create
And
new
just to
from
add,
that.
yeah, and just wanted to add a bit
Mhm.
on that is that these four different techniques or um, um, directions where upcycling, turning waste into products, education empowers the local communities here to understand the
Mhm.
impact. So, in as
Right.
much as we think about the innovation and stuff, we're also thinking about educating the local to empower and also to empower based on the impact. And also, the
Right.
story implies the voices of those that are directly impacted.
Mhm.
And the collaboration brings in people who can help scale this solution and make this happen. So together we shift the narrative from seeing textile as waste as a burden to viewing it as an opportunity for innovation and community development.
Definitely. And the collaboration thing is so new for the fashion industry. We never really like to collaborate. So That's a whole new thing in itself. And we must move in that direction.
Yeah, it needs to change from competition to collaboration, right? Competition. Who's making the most sales? Who's showing in Paris? Who's showing in New York? Like situation where
So, since launching, you've diverted over 1 million garments from landfills and created jobs in the community. Are there individual stories about traders or artisans that have stayed with you?
yeah, I mean, just a point of correction. We have diverted 7 million garments so far.
Wow, love that. 7 million.
Yeah.
Large applause.
And I mean,
That's outstanding.
we want to do more and more and more. But then, yeah, it's been great. It's been a great journey working with so many people because we cannot do this alone. So
Right.
far, we work with 60 plus people in this journey, and everybody comes with their amazing, beautiful story. There's always something. There's always a story working with amazing people. But one
Mm-hmm.
story that stands out is that this is that of the young Kayayi. When the Kayayi are like the head porters, the ones that carry the heavy
Mm-hmm.
loads of the clothing from the warehouses to the retail stores, and they carry up to 55 kilos on their heads.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they go this like to 500, 600 meters, 800 meters, just carrying these things on their head.
Wow.
One of the things we wanted to do was to be able to take people out of that job because it's an abusive occupation
Mm-hmm.
for this much energy, and they get less than $1 just for that.
Oh,
It just doesn't make
right.
sense. So we wanted to take them out. So we work with six of them. And
Mm-hmm.
one story is that she joined us in our team, and now she now works with us full time as a seamstress, and her life
Oh, nice.
has been transformed. She's part of our upcycling team, and the sense of empowerment that she feels from working with us, and sustainable materials and learning new skills is incredible. And
Uh,
stories like hers remind me of why we do this work. And we
yes.
want to empower as many. Like currently, we're having two people on our incubator program where we're training them on graphic design. These are ladies who have no idea how to use a computer, how to turn on the computer. But we want to empower
Mm-hmm.
them and train them to use the computer and be graphic designers.
Oh, wow. So they're becoming artists too. They're expressing their creativity with this joy of, learning and being educated and being able to just flourish. I mean, that's so wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing. Right.
So can you walk us through a day for you and your team? What does it take to transform what the world discards into something people want to wear and treasure?
So you mean what does my typical day in Cantonment looks like? Like our
Yes.
process? Well, I mean,
Yes.
a typical day in Cantonment is fast paced. Literally, it's
Okay.
fast paced, and there's always something new. There's no the same day. There's no day I can say
Mm,
that this day is the same as the other day. So we start by
mhm,
sourcing, by collecting materials that have been dropped off, the waste material that have been dropped off at our collection centers, and then
mhm,
we evaluate the garments into various ways. One, those that can be upcycled, that can be repaired, and those that can be
mhm,
reworked. Then from there we go to we determine which ones are cleaning, we clean them, and then our design team gets to work creating pieces that
mhm.
blend local ideas, local cultural influences into to global trends, like just
Wow.
exploring design ideas, literally taking the clothes, the textile waste that we collect becomes the blank canvas for us to express our art, just to design. So that's what we do. So throughout the day, there's constant collaboration. There are also meetings, Zoom meetings from different people, different designers, different people who are learning, who are researchers, want to curious
Mhm.
about the problem, students as well. Yeah, we have a lot of discussions with local artisans in our space where
Okay.
we do we do the master classes as well, and then
Mm,
we look at the designs, and then we make sure go through the quality checks and control systems and everything to make sure that it's a finished product. Then
wow.
but then in between there's a lot of fun. There's a laugh. We share
Okay.
laughs. We share. We share laughs, we share jokes, we eat together. And yes,
Wonderful.
one thing that is always present throughout the day is music. There's always music playing.
Wonderful.
The studio,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's on the playlist?
So today's playlist is between two. One is Sade, and then the other is a local musician that passed last week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and he plays high life music. So today is mainly listening to high life and some Sade.
Okay. I know some high life,
Good.
and I definitely know some Sade.
Good.
Fantastic. I love that. It feels like family. It sounds like a, familial environment, and it just sounds amazing. I love that whole collaboration. It's so key. It feels like it sounds like the African way, huh? Work together
Of course.
to
It's
yeah,
everything. If it's not collaborative, then there is no ownership. Everybody needs to own
right.
part of what we're doing, so we have optimum
Mhm.
commitment and involvement. Yeah, so that's the only way is through collaboration.
Um, I want to come down and work on your team, so we can talk about
Please,
that later.
please,
But
please.
I would
So
love to
honored to
kind of
have you.
help and do contribute, collaborate.
Yes, yes, yes. That will be amazing.
Okay, we'll talk about that later because I'm definitely interested and would love to help and support beyond the ethical stitch. Um,
Amazing.
we can talk. All right, just a few more questions. I mean, there's so much I want to find out from you, so I'm going to throw some more questions in your direction.
Okay.
Let's see. You often speak about waste colonialism. How do you see fast fashion's role in this system, and what accountability do you want from brands?
Well, I've been fast fashion, and the word on its own, fast fashion. Now we're now in ultra fast fashion now. For information, there's
Yes,
ultra fast
true,
fashion now,
true.
which
Ultra
is
fast
which
fashion.
is which is crazy. Fast fashion,
Yeah.
plays a central role in
Hmm.
waste colonialism. The fact that cheap, low quality garments are just produced and used and then dumped into countries like Ghana, creating a
Hmm.
cycle of the on environmental degradation, because to be able to produce that fast, you need to work with synthetic material that is a high pollutant
Hmm.
to the environment. So
Yeah.
I would like to see, an industry take responsibility for the waste that it generates by investing in sustainable production practices, ensuring fair trade, um, supporting circular systems that benefit both the environment and the local
Hmm.
community like ours. You know, the fashion food should or the fashion system should actually be more inclusive and
Right.
not work in silos. Like we're doing amazing stuff here in Ghana. We should be collaborating with these fast fashion or these fashion brands to be able to not to be
Hmm.
fast, but rather meaningful and purposeful. Because that's the fashion industry we need. We
Right.
need a purposeful fashion, not
Hmm.
an exploitative fashion industry.
Love that.
Yeah.
Meaningful and purposeful, not fast.
Yeah, go fast.
Yeah. Coin a new label for it. Forget,
Exactly.
uber fast and fast. It's purposeful. Let's go. All
Yeah.
righty. For those outside of Ghana, what's a
Yeah.
meaningful way to support this work beyond buying upcycle pieces? Whether it's through policy change, advocacy, or education. How can we help?
First of all, we need all hands on deck. Everybody is mandatory for you to support in every capacity. People can support this movement, this whole thing, by being active doers and not just sayers. So, advocating
Hmm.
for policy changes in addressing textile waste management. Supporting brands that are committed to sustainability. So, smaller brands that are
Hmm.
doing or keeping true to their craft, and then educating themselves and others about the environmental and social impact of textile waste. And also, global consumers come for greater accountability from the fashion industry to ensure that it operates in a way
Right,
that is equitable and sustainable for all.
right. Love that.
Yeah, yeah, not.
Let's go.
And I think we
I'm
should
in it.
go past that. And I think we should go past the stage where we are being manipulated by the system, which is the algorithm, by technology to keep
Right.
buying and buying and buying. I think we should be,
Right.
as individuals, able to have a limit to things. We should buy when
Exactly.
we really, really
We
need,
need.
not just because it's Black Friday,
Right.
not just because it's Black Friday and
Exactly.
it's a discount, but we should be able to create our own style that is going to
Hmm.
allow allow us to be more conscious, but also to be more responsible as well.
Now, does the revival have a website where we can purchase the product that you're upcycling and recreating and repurposing?
We're currently working on one. It should be out. It should
Okay.
be website. The online store should be ready in September. Should be launched in September.
Okay.
Global sales. So we're working on that too.
Fantastic.
Look
Ooh,
out!
right in
Look out!
time. Yeah, bring it. Because that's another way to support when we need a new piece, right?
Exactly.
Looking back, what advice would you give your younger self when you first stepped into the textile waste crisis?
I'd rather tell my younger self to stay patient, persistent,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
trust the power of community. The journey is long and full of challenges, but
Right.
each step forward, no matter how small, has the potential
Hmm.
to create lasting change.
So inspiring. And finally, what's one action you'd like designers, activists, and everyday consumers to take towards building a just and regenerative fashion future?
I would, it's actually a good question. Everyone to consider the full cycle of garments from production to disposal and take responsibility of their choices. Designers can create with sustainability in mind. Activists can push for policy changes. Consumers can support brands that prioritize the environment and people. So together we could build a fashion industry that is not only regenerative but also just and equitable for all that are involved.
Love it. Love it. That's the business model right there. I think you've heard it here from Yayera. That's I mean, what else do you say? That's incredible. I'm always looking for, what is the model? How do we shift this? I mean, I feel like that old model that we're holding up, I'm not sure why. It's just needs to come down and I
Broken.
think we can.
It's a broken model is a failing model. It's failed.
Yes, totally.
Change.
Yep. All right. So, with that, it's time for our Stitch Mob MVP of the week. So, what we usually do is highlight unsung heroes of this industry, whether it's pattern makers, artisans, educators, vendors, the people who innovate quietly, rewriting the rules. So, Yayera, I don't know why I'm mispronouncing your name now.
Yayra.
Yaira,
Yes.
Yaira, who's inspiring you right now with their consistency, creativity, and commitment? Who would you name a Stitch Mob MVP this week?
I would say it's does a does it have to be a name? Sorry, does it have to be a name or
It could be a thing, it could be a process, it could be, yeah, a person, an aspect of industry.
so I would say Ivy. Ama Ivy is the founder of Marché Noir, Lume Paris.
Mm,
He collects trash and turns them into treasure.
wonderful. Oh, I love that.
He's he's Togolese and he's in Togo, Lomé, and in Paris as well. He has a beautiful store in Paris where he collects trash from Lomé, Togo, and sends them back to Europe.
Oh my
So
goodness. Does he have a website or an Instagram? Can you
yes, he does.
spell it out for us? Because I want to track him down myself now. And I'm sure my listeners do too.
Yeah, Marché Noir, MAR
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Bye.
All right. So we see you and we are going to find you because I'd love to see the beautiful work being created from trash. I mean, that's how much more sustainable can you get than that? And adding the beauty. All right. So today, here's your conscious closet takeaway. The cost of fashion is not equally paid. In Ghana, the cost piles up week after week, clothes from across the globe arriving by the ton. And Ghana's not alone. All over the global south, countries are paying a bill they never agreed to pay. So this isn't just about waste, it's about the people picking through it, repairing it, making a living from it. It's about rivers turned toxic from dyes, marketplaces reduced to ash from fires, economies fighting to breathe under the weight of unwanted clothes. Yayira's work proves that fashion's afterlife doesn't have to be a tragedy. It can be a rebirth. But that requires action from brands, from governments, and from all of us. If you want a just regenerative future, if you want a just and regenerative future, we can't just admire the beauty of the transformation. We have to be willing to participate in it. So that's it for this episode of The Ethical Stitch. A huge, colossal thank you to Yayra
Yayra.
Agbofah
Yes.
for joining us
Thank you.
and for reminding us that real change in fashion starts where the runway ends. If this conversation inspired you, please share it. Tag us at The Ethical Stitch and Michelle Alleyne Official. Yayra, where can people follow you and your work
Uh,
with the revival?
you can follow on the revival on Instagram and LinkedIn, the revival.earth, as in the revival.earth on Instagram and the revival on LinkedIn as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. This movement isn't about perfection, it's about showing up, staying aligned, and daring to do better day after day. So,
Okay.
Yaira, again, a colossal thanks for being here. Thank you so very much. I've really enjoyed this conversation. I want to have more. I'm going to check in on you. I'm giving my services, so you let me know how I can help,
Yeah.
physically help, mentally help, whatever you need. I am so behind what you do. You have no idea. So thanks again for coming. And everyone, until next time, stay bold, stay grounded, and as always, stay stitched in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Michelle. And
Anytime.
take care of yourself.
All right. You too. Thanks for tuning into The Ethical Stitch. If you loved this episode, share it, rate it, and tag me at Michelle Alleyne Official. The revolution in fashion starts with awareness, and you're already a part of it. Until next time, keep it ethical.